Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to another video. It's been a few minutes, almost, I don't know, it's been probably a month and a half since I've talked to y'all and let y'all know what we've been up to here. Kind of dawned on us yesterday that yesterday was the summer solstice. Today is June 22nd, so it's the day after the summer solstice. And then I thought, you know, we did that property walkthrough video about 6 months ago. Actually, it was exactly 6 months ago from today. We did a property walkthrough video, kind of just showed you around the place. And I only know that because it was the day after the winter solstice. So I figured it'd just be fitting to give you another walk around look and the view of what's going on out here and kind of what we've been up to. Been a lot happening, a lot of things I haven't been filming. I've just been trying to get things done. I'm working with a lot of contractors, getting a lot of stuff going on. Y'all have probably, we've been doing a few videos about kind of the stuff that we've been doing, and but we're going to give you a full broad walkthrough of everything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start off with the video we did 6 months ago from today, and then we're going to pick up at the end of that video, and I'm going to try and film it in about the same format as I did back then. We're going to pick up standing right here, and we're going to kind of walk the same path and same route that we did. There'll be a few new things, but kind of just give you a overall update of what we've been doing here. So enjoy this clip of 6 months ago, and then we'll see you in a few minutes. Hey everyone, welcome back. Wanted to do a different video this time, kind of show you all around the property here. A lot of people have been asking about a perspective video to kind of just show where we live. So we live right between the towns of Mars Hill and Marshall in North Carolina. We have 8.32 acres of property here. Only about 0.7 of it is actually cleared, maybe even a little less than that, probably about 0.7. The rest of it is up on the hillside. It is wooded. We're going to show you that in just a few minutes. But come along as we just take a little walk around the property here and just kind of look around and see what we got here. So come along with me. Let's go for a walk. So right here, what we got is, this is our driveway. Right down there is the road, and the driveway splits. We have one neighbor here. So the driveway splits, and then our driveway comes up this way and around. This is actually the corner marker for the property right here. So our property actually starts right here. So we'll walk the driveway. The highway is right up here along the edge. It gets a little bit noisy in the winter time, but it's not undoable. So right here you can see we're coming down the driveway to the house, the beast up there on the hill, and a little yard barn. Small parking area here. We also park up next to the house. But once you get to this particular spot of our driveway, we have a small creek down here. This is called Halewood Creek. And that's a old bridge that somebody built across a little creek there. It's a little small trickle creek. Yeah, it's actually flowing pretty well today. We had a little bit of rain, so I think the more it rains, the more it trickles. I'm hoping that this actually comes from a spring up on the hill, but we're not too certain yet. But anyway, so here's kind of an overview look of our yard and our property. So just for perspective's sake, we will pick this up right up there near that pine tree. So we'll be right back. So now we are by the pine tree on the driveway. Right up there is where we were standing. So you can see our driveway comes around here, and it comes up, goes this way. Our house is right there. Here's our front part of our yard. Our house is there. There's the beast up there on the hill. Like I said, stay tuned. We are still in the process of taking this bad boy down, so keep on watching. Hopefully someday here in the near future, this guy will be gone and we will be making room for some other stuff. We're going to keep that kind of to ourselves for now, but we will be making room for some other structures. Right up there you can see that is the highway, and now we'll just kind of walk along up the driveway here. So here's our back door that's actually our front door. This is the door that we come in and out of. The deck on the front isn't in real good shape, and this just seems to be the best place to enter because it goes into the laundry room, so we can kick off boots and whatever else we need to take off on the way in the door. So again, there's back to the driveway, the beast, and then we're just going to keep walking up this way. So you can see in our yard, we taken down a pretty good handful of trees. We're still working on doing some. Most of the trees that we're taking down, actually about 90, probably 98% of them that we're taking down here in the yard, are black walnut trees. And if you're not familiar with black walnut, they're not real friendly to a farm like what we're trying to do here. They tend to put off a toxin called juglone. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Juglone toxin makes it basically so that the black walnut, it puts the toxin into the ground so the black walnut doesn't have to fight for resources. So pretty much what it is it goes in the ground and it kills everything around it. Well, not everything, just a lot of the things that we want to grow. And if they're even in the area, they will stunt the growth of your plants, mainly tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, things like that. There's also some ornamentals don't do well. Hydrangeas, that's another plant that we're definitely going to grow here. But we've been taking down quite a few of them anyway, and got some firewood piled up throughout the place here and stuff. So anyway, moving along. Let's go up here towards the well house and show you the walkway that we've been clearing, or the hiking path that we've been clearing. There's a burn pile. Hopefully maybe a day or two after Christmas, we're supposed to get some more rain. We've been on a burn ban here for a little while. We actually had a few wildfires in the last month or two in the area, which is really odd for us because the humidity here and the moisture level is usually pretty high. But the burn ban has been lifted, so this guy's probably going to get burnt here in the next few days, probably right after Christmas. Here's our compost. It's composting. Some more of the wood piles. And this here power station is for the well, which is right there, which sends water to our house for us to drink and shower with and all that good stuff. So we're gonna walk up the road here, up this walking trail, kind of give you an idea of where we're at with this. It was thick all the way to right here, pretty thick. And as we go up the path, there was I believe it was an old homestead road here that goes up through the middle of the property. We're just going to kind of clear it out and make just a little walking trail, and then possibly maybe even a road to our new home location that we haven't found yet. But it is going to be up here in the woods somewhere, because like I said, we own 8.3 acres here on this hillside, and we haven't really had a chance to get up there and see what's in there. So we are going to walk up through there. Once it gets cleared, we're going to start working with some logging companies and things, and just try to figure out the most economical way to get the land cleared. So right here is as far as I've gotten with clearing this land, or clearing this walking path anyway. You can see that right there is exactly where the trail goes, right through all of that old deadfall. So I'm just gonna have to get up here with the chainsaw and start chipping away at it. And, you can kind of see down this way. This is back toward the house now. Kind of see this way where how far up here we've already cleared out, and a lot of it is, some of it I'm able to put through the wood chipper to just chip up and put the wood chips down on the ground, but a lot of it is vine. So vines, if you're not familiar, if you try to chip vines, they tend to get wrapped up in all the parts inside the chipper. So it's not really good chipper material. So we'll just leave it at that. But anyway, we'll keep on with the tour. Like I said, we have about 7.5 acres up here on this hillside that's not cleared, that we can't quite see yet. But hopefully we will get to that soon enough. So here we are, coming back up out of the hiking trail there, coming back towards the house. Just another little view. And you can see this kind of cleared out spot right here. I cleared that in probably the late summer, early fall, right when we first got here. Within the first couple of weeks, I went up there with a weed eater with a sapling cutter on it and just kind of cleared out what I could. And it was a mess. It was really, really dense, really thick, and I'm realizing now that I probably should have waited until the winter time to do it, because definitely not as thick up there. So we're gonna walk up this way, just kind of give you a little more perspective of our place here. Those of you that have been following along with our trailer teardown will recognize this view, because this is where I film not all the intros, but we filmed a handful of them. A handful, probably like 4 here, maybe. Anyway, so here's the beast. Can walk down the side of the beast here. Now I can give you a perspective. This is the door going into the beast. And there's our driveway. There's our house. There's the rest of the yard. I'm really sorry about the sun, but it is the day after the solstice. So the sun is still really low in the sky. It will pass directly over us in the summer, but right now it's kind of in a bad spot. So, but yeah, this is kind of some more junk. This is some more metal and stuff that came out of the trailer that still need to haul off. Oh, there's my shadow. Hello. But yeah. So yeah, that's the property for now. Like I said, as we get more stuff cleared out up the hill there, I'm gonna try to get up there in the next few weeks and bring camera with me and maybe try to film some of the area up there. Like I said, it's still a bit difficult to get around up there and see much, but I'll film what I can and get it posted on here so everybody can see. All right, so here's that same view down our driveway now. You can tell the the green is really starting to fill in here on the trees. We're going to pan up this way. The highway is back behind all these woods here. You can't quite see it now. These are all the same trees that were here in the winter time that we filmed before. So here's the top side of our driveway. So we'll go ahead and walk it up here and give you kind of another overview of the house here. It's a lot more filled in. So our neighbor's house is down in there. You can't quite see it anymore. You can still see it through the woods, but it's not as, doesn't stick out as much of a sore thumb like it did before. So here's the top of the driveway again, and instantly you'll notice that there's quite a few differences here. The yard barn used to be right there, and this is it's going to be the concrete slab for our metal building garage we're getting installed hopefully in the next few weeks. We've already put a deposit on it and everything, and they should be, once this gets done and gets all set, everything's good to go. We just had the inspection today on the slab. It's full of gravel right now, so they're going to lay a 4-inch slab of concrete over the top of it, but they had to come and inspect it beforehand. So that just passed today, so we are in the works of doing that. And then here is the old yard barn frame. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Here's the creek. You can't really see it because it's getting overgrown. Might be able to see a little bit in there. And then there's that old bridge still here. We weren't certain exactly why somebody would have built this bridge here until about 4 days ago we learned, because this over here is all black raspberries on the side of this hill over here. So somebody built that bridge so they can walk across there and pick them. And we did just that earlier this week. Made a black raspberry cobbler, a few other store-bought berries in just to kind of top it off. But we picked almost a pound out of this spot and a couple other spots around the property I'm going to be showing you too. But so that's all black raspberries over there. And also, so we'll come down here a little bit, and then this patch, we talked about planting berries along this whole section here, because this is this big oak tree here is on our property line, and these little pines, they're not little pines, they're pretty good size evergreen pines here. That's the edge of our property, but we were going to use this to plant berries. But it turns out that these are all blackberries, this entire thing here. And then we got a little bit of a open spot here. There's a few vines in there, and then this big old bush right here is another large bush just full of these blackberries. And we got, oh, there's a couple in there in color. I don't know if you can see them quite on the camera. And then over here along this edge, we have there's some black raspberries underneath here too. Kind of hard to see. It's really light out and then kind of dark over there. But so here's the big old pine tree. There's the house. The beast is still here. So this is the front of the garage. Right here, this portion is where there's going to be 2 drive-in garage doors, and then we're going to have a walk-in door right here on this side. And then this is all going to be gravel in here for a parking area, so we don't have to park up here on the hill anymore. We'll park down here. Still drive up here to unload groceries and things, but this is going to be the primary parking area. So let's walk up the driveway here, and we'll go back up to where the other perspective was that we have in the old video there. Pretty sure I was standing right about here. So there's the driveway. That skid steer is not ours, that's our contractor's. But there's the driveway, comes down. Our driveway got redone since the last video too. They laid a layer of road bond down, and they're gonna probably touch it up when they get all this gravelled down here too. So beast is still here. It's being used as a alternative storage unit right now for all of our stuff that's going to go in the garage. We still got a room in the house that's full of stuff for the garage too. So once this garage gets put in, this is going to be a big deal. This is 24 by 30 is what the size of the garage is going to be. They had to excavate out quite a bit here in the yard and put up a little retaining wall, and we're probably going to paint that or something. We're going to do something to decorate it, but so here's kind of, and this is where you're going to start seeing a lot of really big changes. I mean, that was a pretty big change back there too. Got a couple trees here, this one and this one to cut down. There were quite a few still out this way too that are all gone now. Kind of out with the old, in with the new. This is still our front back door. We're still working on trying to get these decks done. Lumber prices are still pretty high right now, so a lot of building projects are a little pricey. The beast, like I said, is still up there, but stay tuned. Just like I said in the last video, we will be continuing to tear that down once this garage gets put in, and we're gonna probably designate quite a bit of our time to getting that thing gone, because I really want to clear out some of the woods that are behind it, start making it a little bit nicer to look at here. We also learned too, this big old tree right here is a huge mulberry tree. Didn't even know that until they all started falling. They've been laying around all over in front of the beast here. They're probably landed all over the roof and everything. Down here there used to be a picnic table. There used to be a picnic table and a little gravel spot there. It turns out that used to be where the old drain field was. So these are our new septic tanks. If you're following along again, you know we just had the septic replaced. And that is the pump alarm and power box. And the chickens out there, we'll drop by and see them in a little bit. So on this side, this is where there's a big change here. This portion that's cleared out here is the drain field for the septic. If you'll see that stump right there, you can see that in the other video, where this section right here is what I had cleared out with the sapling cutter by hand, and then this is what we've got now. But we've planted wildflowers up there. I'm not sure if they're picking up very well. I'll walk up here and get a little bit better of a picture. Well, we'll look at that in a second. But so we got these pots with some things growing in them. Garbanzo beans, black beans, some carrots, okra, things like that. This is the pots where we attempted to grow all of our tomatoes and hot peppers, bell peppers, eggplants, all the nightshades that can't go in the ground because of the black walnut trees that we talked about. Well, come to find out, I have a really big one right here, and then there's still a handful over here, and there's still quite a few in the yard. So needless to say, the tomatoes didn't make it. Actually, we've got one black crim tomato plant in here that is just struggling. It's really trying. I don't think it's going to come of anything, but we're going to try and experiment and see if we can get something out of it. But we'll keep you updated on that if we even get anything out of it. But so this is our hill. We planted, like I said, a bunch of wildflowers up here, and they should be able to see some in that picture. I planted quite a few wildflowers. As you could tell, the butterflies absolutely love them. So it's one of the big changes we did here. Same contractor that's doing the pad for our garage. This was the first real big job that we had them do, they also did the driveway. They're kind of our go-to guys right now. But anyway, we'll start heading this direction. You'll see this is the power pole for the well. And the well's still up there. Down here we had potatoes growing in these bag pots, and it's the same thing. They're part of the nightshade family, and there's black walnut trees all around here, and ended up killing them. We got a few potatoes. They did produce some, just not a whole lot. But now we've got black beans growing in them, and this one's got dill in it, but it hasn't quite come up yet. And then these here are sunchokes. They're part of the sunflower family. They're a tuber, supposed to be similar to a potato, but they're part of the sunflower family, so we can grow them. You'll notice here, it's another big change. The hill used to come down to here, and we had these guys excavate it out a little bit here and kind of open up this walking path for us a little bit, and we planted quite a bit of clover and stuff up in here to get the ground cover down, and it's filling in really well. So we're gonna just walk up this trail a little ways and kind of show you where everything stands here. I've been doing quite a bit of work up here over the fall and the early spring. I haven't been up here doing much clearing work since the season started. I can run the lawnmower up here now and get it opened up a little bit. So here's a tree here in the last video. Right here is the spot where the wood chipper was sitting, just to give you kind of a perspective of everything. And then we'll walk up here a little ways and show you about where we had cleared it to, and then we'll keep walking and I'll show you where it's at now. So right about here, yeah, I think it was right about here is where I showed the super gnarly spot where all the trees were laid across the road here. There's a few of them here that we had cut. Big old deadfall pine right here. Cut it off, but now we've cleared all the way up this trail. We're not quite up around the top yet, but we'll be working up there here pretty shortly, because not really so much in the summer, because you can tell how dense it is in here. It's hard to work through all this thick stuff. But so right in here it starts closing up a little bit, and then this is about where the clearing has ended. And I've cleared out a spot up on the hill up there. We're trying to get this trail to wrap around to meet up at the top there, so I can drive the lawnmower up there, because the hill's way too steep to do it right now by itself. But I'm gonna shut the camera off. I'm gonna walk back down this trail here, and then we'll pick it up down there by the well again. All right, back down here by the well. Here's the spot where we planted that clover. And here's the well, there's the house. It's kind of the same perspective we showed before. Now the burn pile's gone. That's going to be the location of the new chicken house. We'll go down there and see the chickens here in a minute. I think it was right about here is where I said something. This is where I was talking about the spot that I had cleared, and now you can see how much has been cleared. I didn't clear this. The contractors came and cleared this. They cleared it mechanically. I told y'all that sometimes you just got to spend some money and get stuff done. Plus they were putting in the septic system, so it was, I mean, it only made sense for them to do the clearing. So, but we're gonna walk down this direction. Now we didn't show this area on the first video that we did because it really was nothing. Now we've transformed it, for lack of better words. This was all really thick brush through here, and you can see some of it starting to come back up again. But this is our watermelon patch. There's one watermelon there. Got another one right there. And here's another one that I had to replant because it came up and then instantly died. And then this one never came up. I replanted it, never came up again. I think it just doesn't get quite enough sun to really do anything with. So I'm gonna give it one more shot. 3 strikes, you're out. One more shot. If nothing happens, then it's just gonna have to not happen. These are all sweet potatoes in here that we planted. This part right here looked like this when we started. That's what we've cleared out here. So this is our sweet potato patch. We put down 25 sweet potato slips, little starter plants. They're doing really well. See if I can get in here and show you a couple. Yeah, there's one right there. Another one here. And we've got 25 of them in this patch here. So hopefully about mid-October we'll be doing our first sweet potato harvest. This is the first time I've ever grown sweet potatoes in my entire life. I'm not an avid gardener. I do enjoy growing things, and I've always grown, well, not always, I guess, just periodically I grow stuff in pots, tomatoes, peppers, and stuff like that over the years, but it's the first time I've really had a substantial cut of land that can actually do some stuff with. But over here, as you can tell, this is corn. We got rabbit fences up on everything right now because the rabbits were getting in here and destroying all of our stuff. But this is not only corn, this is what we call you can do a 3 sisters patch or you could do a 4 sisters patch. We have chosen to do the 4 sisters patch. So what that is this is an old Native American style of growing corn or growing food in general. And the idea is all of the plants that grow are beneficial to each other in one way or another. So what I mean by that is we've got 2 types of corn growing out here. We've got a popping corn in the back, and then we've got a sweet corn here in the front. And at the base of those corn plants, we have runner beans planted. So what's going to happen with that is as the corn grows up, the runner beans are going to grow up around the corn. And a runner bean is a legume, so it's a nitrogen fixing plant. So it will actually put nitrogen back into the ground and make it available for the corn to use as a fertilizer. Okay, so that's 2 sisters. And now we got a 3rd sister, which is here in the middle, right here and there. And then we've got, there's a big one right there. These are different types of squash. Pumpkins, spaghetti squash. I think we got a honey nut squash out here. A couple different ones. Now the purpose of the 3rd sister is when those squash vines get up and they start growing, they're going to run all along the ground which is going to create a shaded ground cover for the plot. It should shade out and not allow so many weeds to come up and try and take over the plot. So that in essence is the Three Sisters style planting in general. Now, like I said, we have opted for the fourth sister, and the fourth sister is right here. There's one here, we've got another good sized one over there, a few more. Oh, it's a little dark. A few more in here. They just didn't quite come up as thick as we wanted to, but these are sunflowers. Okay, so sunflower should mature about the same time that the corn does. What the sunflower does is it's going to be a deterrent for the birds. The birds will feed on the sunflower and they shouldn't attack the corn. That's the fourth sister. All four of those things work together. The corn, the runner beans, the squash, and the sunflowers. They all work together in harmony. They help each other in one way or another. It's our first time ever doing it. I've seen a lot of really good reviews on them, on this style online. So hopefully ours works out well also. All right, so now we're gonna walk back over this way. That's a nice little sitting area here under this little oak tree and a maple tree. So when we're out here working, we can have somewhere to get a little bit of rest. We have a neighborhood groundhog that lives back here. This is the creek here. This is our property line. We have a neighborhood groundhog back here somewhere that has been coming out and eating some of the sunflower tops and things, and just another battle of living this way. But right here is a pack, or a pile, not a pack, a pile of cinder blocks, and this just looks like a big old mess here. But hidden in the middle of this big old mess, it's more black raspberries. And these, some of these are about ready to be picked. I need to get in here. There's a tree that fell from the creek side across over all of this that I need to get in here and clean up and get out of the way so we can get in here and get some of these berries, because there's some nice ones in there. And this is our lettuce patch that we've been growing. Everything's looking a little rough right now. It's warm today. It's probably 91, 92 degrees today. So they're looking pretty a little pitiful right now, but they'll stand back up when it cools off tonight. This one on the end here is a head lettuce, and then this is romaine, and interplanted in the middle we interplanted some radishes. This here is called borage or borage. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. It's B-O-R-A-G-E. It's a beneficial flower. Brings in pollinators and things and helps kind of ward off some of the bugs. It's also edible. And I've never had this before, and I ripped off a leaf not too long ago, and they're kind of a hairy leaf. They got a real fine fuzz on them, almost like a peach. And they taste just like a cucumber. It's really the oddest thing I've ever had. I've never had a green that's tasted like a cucumber or like a melon of some sort, but they're really good filler to put in a salad. They're just really hard to clean. As it rains and we water and things, like some of the dirt splashes up on the leaves, and since they're a fuzz on them, it kind of grabs onto that dirt, holds on to it, makes it a little difficult. But anyway, this is some Swiss chard, and we got a small row of cilantro here, and then this was going to be a succession plant. These are radishes here. This was going to be a succession plant of radishes, but we decided that we enjoy romaine lettuce a lot more than radish. I do like radishes. Radishes last a long time in the fridge though, and we still have a bunch from when we pulled them out of the other bed over there, which we'll get to here in a little bit. So we went ahead and planted another succession of of a romaine lettuce there. And so a little bit more cilantro. Oh, here we go. It's getting lost here. A little more cilantro here in the middle. Excuse me. A little bit of arugula. Found out that we're pretty good at growing arugula. The bugs really like it, so we've been eating really arugula that's been got quite a few holes in it. It doesn't hurt us at all, but it just not something you could sell to market because it doesn't look great, but it still tastes really good. Another empty plot here of romaine. It was spinach, I believe, at one point, but the spinach bolted really quick. So this is romaine now. A little bit more of that borage. Some more. This is a Rocky Top lettuce mix here. It's kind of hard to see with the shadow there, but again, this is just a tour. We put down some beets here that are slowly rolling. And there's a small row of marigolds there. And then this plot here was also spinach that we cropped out again. And we put some more Swiss chard in here because we've decided we really like Swiss chard. It's really good as a baby green with lettuce in a lettuce mix. It's another really good earthy flavor. And then there's another patch of arugula. So that's what our greens patch looks like. Y'all remember that video that I did not too long ago about building this patch. Now you're seeing the works of it. And like I said, I'm sorry we didn't film any planting of that, but it's just a lot of things have been going on here, and we're trying to just get things done. Be a little bit better with the videos as long as there isn't so much stuff to do anymore. So this is a tunnel trellis that we built out of a couple cattle panels. Put some stakes down, got them tied up there, and this is where we're growing all of our gourds. Now we have 4 different types of gourds in here. 2 of them I'm not going to be able to pronounce because they're just difficult to pronounce. But one of them looks like a grayish green pumpkin, and the other one is one of the orange decorative pumpkin type gourds that has like green warts on it. It's an ornamental. I guess you can eat them. Well, we're going to try and eat them. If anything, the chickens will eat them. But what I'm most excited about in here is we're growing loofah gourds and birdhouse gourds. So the loofah gourd is just like, actually these are loofahs right here. The loofah gourd is where they got the name of your little shower puff from, because this gourd, when it dries out, it's an abrasive, looks like, I don't know, some sort of sea cucumber, almost looks like coral. But use it to wash dishes. You can use it to wash your body. I've never gotten them soft enough where they don't really hurt me, but they're great for washing dishes. It's totally organic, and when it gets dirty you can just throw it away and it'll just degrade. Also the birdhouse gourds, we can build little birdhouses out of them, drill a hole in them, hollow them out. I mean, they're already hollow when they dry out. Just drill a hole in them, hang them up, make a little place for the birds to live, because birds, some of the birds that we're trying to get around here are beneficial. They eat a lot of the insects and stuff, so it's all a big process that we're working on here. But we'll definitely do some more updates on this as it starts growing. It's supposed to, we should be able to get it to grow up and over, and it'll be like a tunnel you can walk through. We might put a couple chairs in there or something, a little shady spot to sit. Over here is the burn pile. We've done multiple burns in this pile. This pile is going to be going away, and when the contractors get done with the garage there, I'm gonna have them kind of grade out a pretty good little spot right here. That's where we're gonna put the permanent chicken coop. We were gonna just move the chickens around the yard. Just turned out to be a little bit more difficult than I imagined in my head to do. Not really difficult, just it's a lot of work. I'm not above doing work, but they'll be a lot more secure. They'll have a larger house. We can expand our flock a little bit and just have a little bit tighter of a security for them. We're gonna put an automatic coop door on their house and everything. So if we wanted to take off for a day or two, Just talk to the neighbor and have them come over and peek on them every once in a while and collect the eggs or whatever, but they'll be pretty much on autopilot. Just got to make sure all their food and water's topped up and everything like that, but their run will be out this direction, and that is where the old yard barn frame is going to come into play. The coop going to go right here along the edge somewhere in here. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work out with the way the grade is here, but we're going to attach that old yard barn frame, and we're going to wrap it in chicken wire and put a tin roof on top of it, and that's going to be their permanent run, where we're going to throw all of our food scraps, yard waste, everything that can break down back down into soil, throw it in there, and they'll turn it up, turn it around, they'll put manure down on it, turn it into a really, really rich compost for us, for all of our garden beds. So eggs are a great thing. We love eggs, but compost is hard to come by right now. So not hard to come by, it's just kind of expensive, and I don't want to have to keep driving to haul it in with gas prices the way they are, but you know, that's life. So that's going to be the next project. I've already got the brackets and everything in to build it. It's going to be a 2x4 frame. I'm going to do a video of it when I put it together. We've never built anything before. Should be kind of a fun project, but anyway, moving on. Here's our original garden bed that we put in, the very, very first one. It's already had a couple successions of things come in and out of here, but still got some chamomile in here. Turns out that chamomile is really good for chickens. They really like it, and it's getting ready to start flowering. So we might be able to pull some of those flowers and make some chamomile teas with them. These are green onions that we bought at the store, cut them off, used the green onions, and then planted the bases, and now they are growing back. So hopefully those will not get cooked in the heat, but you know, it's all an experiment. This is a cabbage that we planted the very first round of stuff that we planted here, and it just didn't really do anything, and it was kind of just there. Now it's growing up, starting to get big. Even appears to be trying to put on a head. I don't think this is going to head up because this is a cold weather crop and it's just way too hot for it right now. Over here is some large slicing cucumbers that we just planted. We're going to get a trellis up on these tomorrow. And right next to it I just planted some more runner beans because that was carrots that we'd already harvested out. And then we got garbanzo beans or chickpeas, whatever you want to call them, right there. And some more green beans here. This one's empty. Some more green beans, some more cabbage or cauliflower. I'm not sure. One of them's, I think that might be the cauliflower here, and the other one was cabbage. I'm not 100% certain. This row here is pickling cucumbers. They're doing really well. We've got a little bit more beans there. Little thing of sage, some zucchinis. This is a kohlrabi. Never had it before. It's another one of those brassicas that should be a more of a cold weather crop, but it seems to be really growing pretty well right now. So we're just going to let it go and see what happens. This was another experiment. This is a leek that we had bought and put into a soup and replanted the base, and it came back and it flowered at the top, and then the ones that we originally planted are still growing down at the bottom, so we'll see what happens with those. Some more beans. These are okra down here on the end. More beans there. We got a lot of beans. I love green beans. I'm gonna try and store some dried beans this year. So that's the original garden plot here. And so now, last but not least, we'll go down here and see these girls. So, like I said before, when we were talking about the chickens, this is a 100-foot Premier 1 electric poultry net. Works really well. We've had a few dogs come in the yard and start trying to come after these chickens, and they touch that net and realize that these chickens aren't what they want to mess with. So there's one of them over in the bath, but I'm gonna turn this off. And so it's run by a solar panel, and there's a 12-volt battery in here, a small 12-volt battery, and it just charges itself and just push this button, turn it off. And then we'll walk over here and open up the fence and walk around and see these girls for a little bit. Probably just a few minutes. We're not going to spend a lot of time in here. Hi, babies. So these brown ones here are a breed called Golden Comet. They're a heavy laying breed. We've got 4 of them, and they lay 300 to 330 eggs a year per bird. So that's almost an egg a day, and they've been fairly consistent with that since they started laying. I come out here and get 4 eggs almost every day, and if not 4, definitely 3. So they if you're looking for some chickens, they're a really docile breed. They like, I mean, they don't really like to be picked. They don't run though. The black ones run now. These are French black copper Morans, and we've got 2 of them that we got from a girl that had a flock of them, and she just had these 2 girls were extras that she didn't need. See if we can get over here. And so we put this easy up for them because it's so hot that it's just another shady spot for them to go to get out of the sun. Chickens don't sweat. They're just like dogs. They pant. This one's kind of panting right now. That's Latrice here. The difference between a regular black copper Moran and a French black copper Moran is the French black copper Morans are what they call feather-footed, where they actually grow feathers off of their feet. And the regular black copper Morans don't. They're barefooted like these Goldens are. One of them's sitting over there in the tub. This is how they dust bathe to keep cool. And this is just playground sand. We put a little bit of diatomaceous earth in there, and they use that to cool themselves off and keep the bugs off of themselves. So anyway, we'll move on here. All right, we got the fence turned back on. I keep forgetting to turn that back on sometimes during the day, and I think the daytime is probably when they need it the most, because that's when the neighborhood dogs tend to show up, though we haven't had one in quite a while, but I'm not going to get too excited about that because that can change this afternoon. But that's when we need that fence the most, because that's when they're almost most vulnerable. But anyway, so here's that bridge. Again, here's the driveway. We kind of just made a big loop around the property here. Here's that bridge, and I was going to show you, see if I can excuse me, see if I can zoom in here, and I'm not sure if you can see them, but you should be able to see there's berries all over in here. This is the black raspberry patch that's across the creek. The creek's down here. So we're going to rebuild this bridge. Actually, we're going to take, well, we're not going to rebuild this one. We're going to take this bridge and trash it and just build a complete new one. As we're tearing down the beast, I've got a telephone pole up there that the contractors took down. It's a pole we don't use anymore, but I'm going to cut it up and use it as the main beams across the bridge. And then I'll take the deck boards from the deck up there on the beast and screw them to it and make it a good, solid, really good, solid, sturdy bridge that we can cross over there and get these berries in the spring, because it is worth it. There are so many over there. This camera's not going to do it justice. I know that for a fact, but there are a lot of berries. So, but here's that frame for the old yard barn that we're going to use for the girls' run. We're going to cut that bar out right there in the middle, make a door here, and then there's a door on the side, so we're going to have 2 access points to get into it, and then it's going to butt up to the side of their house. And like I said, as we're doing that, we'll film some more videos and take y'all along. And then we're just coming back around to the front here where the garage is going to be, and parking area here, Back up the driveway. Just one more quick look around here, and it's very nice here in the summertime. It's been quite a bit warm here this year. Of course, we weren't here in the summertime last year, so I don't think this is normal, but we've been breaking some records with the heat the last few weeks. So it's just really warm, but it still kind of stays cool. If we go down, that lettuce should be dead by now because of the heat, but it holds on because it stays cool down there by the creek, because it's almost a small microclimate there. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble now. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. We're going to try and do these a little more often with the solstice and the equinox. We're going to start doing equinox videos, I think, too. So there should be one of these property walkarounds coming every 3 months from here on out, hopefully. There's just a whole bunch that happened over the last 6 months. So sorry, this is a really long video. I hope you stuck around to watch the end, and hope you enjoy it. And leave us a comment below and tell us what you think is the coolest thing that we've been doing here, or the biggest change that you've noticed from the first video and the second video. And if there's any other things that you may have noticed you want to take a better look at, we could do another video on. Or if you have any other ideas of any more updates we can do here, then we'd appreciate that. So anyway, appreciate y'all sticking around. Appreciate y'all watching the videos. I'm trying to get better at doing this. I'm not really good at it, but I'm learning. I'm trying. So we'll see y'all in the next one. Appreciate you. Have a good day.